Nice Micro Monday. Proprietary video conferencing platforms should die. So in the last 2 years, as a lot of activities went to the online space, a lot of people had to endure online video conferencing. I got quite lucky, I didn't really have to do much of it, but I know that a lot of students had to take classes during using some kind of video conference, taking or listening to lectures, using this kind of video conferencing tools. People working at big companies had to attend meetings via these video conferencing platforms. And in my case, I only had to make a few presentations on Zoom. I listened to a course that was actually run by a government that was on Cisco Webex, and I think I took a job interview in also Zoom. But I know a lot of people use other platforms like Microsoft has this Teams, and Google also has something. And when it comes to private corporations who are providing computers and laptops to their employees and they want to use some kind of expensive proprietary video conferencing solution, I mean, they do with their money whatever they want. But when it comes to educational institutions, governments, or NGOs, especially because those are working for, even though NGOs are kind of, we could handle the same as companies, but these are like non-profit entities. So in that case, I wouldn't really endorse using these proprietary platforms. And this is in case of the corporation, they will give their employees their own computer, hopefully, and then they put whatever software they want on that. But in the case of educational institutions, a lot of schools, especially high schools, middle schools, etc., they don't give computers to their students in a lot of cases, and they still expect their students to use these proprietary platforms, which I don't think is ethical. I mean, in their own case, everyone can decide if they want to do something or they want to run some software on their computer that does not respect their computing freedoms. But if it's a school, especially when you are in a high school, which is in a lot of countries mandatory to attend high school, then it is not really a good thing to force unethical software on the computer of the students. And I would even go as far that even a university shouldn't do that. And of course, these are not free, as in money. They are not just not free, as in not free, that doesn't provide the freedoms. They are also expensive. And when a big corporation, which has its goals, their main goal is to make money for their shareholders. Well, if they want to make less money for their shareholders by using these proprietary platforms, then I guess it's the shareholders' job to decide whether they accept it or not. But when it comes to educational institutions, which should prepare the young people for the future and things like that, it would be nice if they wouldn't spend the money they get from their students as the tuition fees and the money they get from the government for providing this service. They shouldn't spend this on something that is not necessary spending, I guess. Because recently I had to do some video conferencing with an NGO, and I was really happy that they actually used Jitsi for that. And Jitsi is free software, it's open source, you can easily access it. You have to have your own servers to run it, but let's face it, if you are a university, you probably have enough servers, and you probably have enough people who know enough of computers that they can manage a Jitsi server. If I can do it, probably they could do it. So I guess Nextcloud is also an option. So Jitsi is good because you don't even have to have an account for that to participate in a video conference. But if you want to make a video conferencing with people like a kind of locked or like a closed group, like a group of students or a group of employees, then Nextcloud provides a lot of other options, and well, even if you end up paying the same as you would end up paying for a proprietary solution in some of these cases, if you want, because someone has to manage those servers, of course, you are still in a better solution or better position than using the proprietary ones, just in an ethical standpoint. And as I said, if as a company you provide everyone with their laptops, then I guess you do whatever you want. But in these other cases, proprietary platforms, proprietary chat platforms should die. There is no reason to use them in your private life. There is no reason for you to use them in schools. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if, like, the university IT department, like where they teach, like, computer engineers, they would have like a project and the students would run these servers? I mean, they could even pay their students, so they could take it as a part-time job at their university or something like that. Wouldn't it be much nicer and a much better way to prepare them for life than just mindlessly buying the recent privacy invasive software solutions for that? So I guess this is my opinion on why proprietary video conferencing platforms should die. Nice Micro Monday. See you next time. Bye bye.